Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, we're going to talk some boxing. And this topic's a little bit off boxing proper, but still involves boxing. That's why I'm going to talk about it with you guys. I'm really going to take I think I'm going to enjoy myself talking to you guys about this particular topic. So, Billy Joe Saunders put out a very irresponsible video coming off the point that, of course, with this self-quarantining for the coronaviruses, a lot of people at home, and one of the most dangerous things in families where domestic violence is taking place is to have the whole entire family at home. It is quite a risky situation, and actually there was a publication on that very recently. In light of that, Billy Joe Saunders decided to completely aggravate the situation by putting out a very antagonistic video talking about how to chin your girl. She becomes very annoying. She's coming at you. You deck her with the right hand, right? You hit her with a straight overhand right. Knock her the fuck out. And I don't know if he thought that was funny. I don't know what he thought. He probably not trying not to be politically correct. I don't know. Could have been his personal experience. I don't know. But Billy Joe Saunders was a complete jerk doing that video. But in response to Billy Joe Saunders, Clarissa Shields came up with something else. Fight violence for violence. So if somebody's coming, she said, look, this is how you protect yourself as women. The guy's coming to you, he's coming to either slap you, hit you, punch you, kick you, or something. He's coming to attack you. If he's coming with the overhand right, dip down, change levels, hit him straight in the fucking nuts. Hit him as hard as you can, punch straight through into his nuts, and it will deck him. And true to form, that is true. No guy likes to get punched in the nuts. Now, for women who are being abused by guys like that, guys who they get more and more angry and they beat you up and stuff like that, here's another self-defense technique I'm going to teach these women. I'm going to teach you guys right now. So if you would just bear with me, I'm going to adjust this camera. So I specialize in enclosed fighting, known as shikaru. So one of the best defensive things you can do in shikaru, or in any martial art, is you must learn the art of surprise. Okay? A man's charging coming to you, okay? You don't want to be in the way of that. That's the first thing. So I'm going to show you the footwork. I'm going to show you anybody trying to get aggressive with you. Anybody trying to get aggressive with you. Anybody who's trying to attack you. I was not the greatest fighter in my time. This is what you can do. So if a very aggressive person's coming at you, alright? Very simple. It's very, very simple. Somebody's charging coming at you here, okay? It doesn't really matter how they try to do it. They're coming to tackle you, whatever they're trying to do, or they're coming to punch you, they're coming to hit you with something. If this is you, let's say this is me right here. You don't have to lead backwards, you don't have to run, you don't have to scrimmage, you don't have to do none of that. You wait till they are. The closest part of them is an arm's length away from you. Okay? An arm's length away from you. Listen carefully. It doesn't matter how fast they're coming or anything like that. An arm's length away from you. And all you do, now this depends on where you are, of course. But if you're not in a corridor or an enclosed space, you're in an open space, you sidestep. You move off to the side. So you've changed the angle of trajectory. They're coming with a whole set of momentum at you. Okay? So they can't stop themselves. By that point, they can't stop themselves. Okay? They can't change direction. They're going to move by you. And as they go by you, either keep your foot in the way to trip them and let them go flying. Or what you can do is, as they're going by, this is the movement. You can push them on their way. Okay? If you want, you can grab their shoulder as they're going by, like this, and push them. Okay? So, we specialize in close fighting. That's why I can tell you that. And it's very easy. You know, if you're calm, you got to keep your composure. A lot of women are not calm. That's the problem. They don't keep their composure. So that's a little problem. But all you do is you sidestep them. Okay? It's something to do in boxing. It's something I do in martial arts. That's why I know about angles and stuff in boxing, because I literally use angles in fighting. Okay? You just sidestep. That's it. Sidestep them. If you want, you can trip them. If you want, you can grab their wrist and control them by their wrist. So how do you grab people by their wrist? Let me show you. The thing about human beings is they have joints. And if you put somebody in an uncomfortable position in their joint, their whole body's going to follow you. So if I bend a guy's arm back this way, and by doing that, I grab behind here and I pull down on here. I'm going to move him wherever that hand is going. Aikido does it, but also in close fighting, Shito. All right? How do you do it? As the person's going by you, they're going by you, say this way. You grab the shoulder, grab the arm, and you hyperextend. And then I can take that person and carry them wherever I want to carry them. Wherever I want to carry them, I can carry them. Okay? It's a specialized method. I didn't go into all of that. I told you the simple thing. If the guy's coming at you with the knife, it doesn't matter what he's coming with you with. A knife, a gun, he's charging at you, he's coming to tackle you, bring you down, he's coming to punch you, sidestep him. All right? You wait till he's an arm length away from you. If he's coming at full speed, full tilt, sidestep him. Now, if you are in a kitchen area, for example, all right, a small confined space. This is the living room. So, if the guy's charging at me here, I can sidestep him this way. Okay? It depends on how he's coming. I may not have room to. If somebody's coming at you and you can't sidestep them, the other thing you can do is get small. Get small. It's really ironic. If the guy holds you and he hasn't lifted you off the ground, as he holds you, get small. Dip straight down. Go straight down. Collapse. You'll pull him down with you. Okay? Get small. That's the other thing you can do. Alright? Once you get small, you wriggle him off for you. You can either, there's another thing you can do. If a guy's coming at you, kick him in the shin. Then kick him in the balls. Kick him in the shin, then kick him in the balls. And let me just show you real quick what that would look like. And how do you utilize kicks? Drop this camera a bit so I can demonstrate so you guys can see my foot. There's some very abusive people out here, you know. But see, when somebody thinks they have power over you, okay, this is a simple front kick. Straight, boom. You kick with here, this part of your foot. Okay? Like that. Kick him in the shin. It's easier to kick in the shin. Ha. 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 So he's coming at you. Sidestep him. You kick him in the shin. You may not have enough time for that. But if he's standing over there and he starts to come at you, kick him in the shin. Kick him in the shin, elbow. Put the elbow forward. If he's going to fall into, he's going to fall into the elbow. You elbow back. Generally, when people cringe, people got to do this to block up something. Somebody's coming at them, or they cringe. If you're going to cringe up, elbow clinch. Okay? Drop low, elbow clinch. Alright? Let him run into the elbow. You're going to throw a punch, he's going to run into an elbow. Okay? These are little things you can do. It's defense. It's defense. That's why counter punches, I can understand counter punches, because in martial arts, that's what we're taught. We're taught to counter a guy. counter someone, catch them with something they didn't expect. This is why guys like Floyd Mayweather, guys like Colonel Whitaker, guys like Juan Marquez intrigue me, because my fighting style was one in which I was defensive. My offense was based on my defense. I wouldn't go out and punch somebody. If somebody's coming to punch me, I would utilize their strength against them, like a kilo. So if the guy is very abusive to you, or a woman, she's coming with a pot or a pan or something, all right, you don't have to punch her. Sidestep her. All right, and her entire momentum will go with that thing. Now, she can get very, very badly hurt, as well as the guy, because they could trip over your foot and go launching into a window or a car or door, or like here, a cupboard or something, and really badly damage themselves. But you won't be badly damaged, and that's the most important thing. And in martial arts, we learn to neutralize our opponents. Okay, neutralize our opponent. You didn't do nothing to them. You just sidestepped them, and they went with their momentum. If you wanted to push them through the back, push them in the back, and then go even further forward, right? You sidestep and push them in the back. And this is a very simple thing to do, given you have sufficient enough space. For instance, in this small space area, it may seem as if I can't sidestep someone, but I can. I can sidestep this way. And what you can do is, if the person's coming at you, you go close to the area so you have more space on this side. So you move yourself across here and sidestep back this way. So they're going to come at you this way, and then they will kick the chair, the couch, whatever, and then you can just push them, and then you can get out of there. All right? If you have kids, kids make the situation complicated, because you never know if the spouse will come after the kids because they couldn't get at you. So to neutralize a person like that, that's why I say you add the extra element where you control the shoulder and the wrist. Right? And what you can do is you slam them in the couch, and you lift them up, turn them around, and slam them into the wall. Okay? Because they're going to go with whatever you do with the hand. You don't have to be super strong to do this. Okay? So self-defense is something that is very important. Again, in boxing, you don't have to be the strongest guy in the ring to control the other fighter. It's all about control at the end of the day. What you know in your head that the other person don't know. What you're coming with that they didn't expect. You see? And that's the trick to all combat. The art of war is about trying to get your opponent. It's trying to get your opponent in a position where you have an advantage, where you have the control. Okay? So I really like what Clarissa Shields said to women who are being abused. But you don't have to actually strike people. The art of fighting without fighting is where it's about how you position yourself in space. So I gave you 3 tips for the women out there who may be abused, or the guys out there who may be abused, because there are cases where women abuse men. And the first case is that you sidestep the person. Once you have sufficient space, you sidestep. The second thing I talked about was getting low. Get low. And the third thing I said is using your projectile, your elbow, to stop the person in their tracks. So if they're coming at you to tackle you or whatever, use the elbow. It's a very sharp, blunt-ended part that you can use to control people like that. Okay? Those are 3 tips for especially women who are being abused. The problem with that is mentally they've been abused, mentally they've been beaten down, so they can't see themselves getting out of the situation, and they feel tied either because of the children or some other people who may be vulnerable to this person. But all you have to do, listen to me carefully, those people who are being abused, you have to neutralize these people. You don't need to use guns. It doesn't matter if the person has a weapon or not. You neutralize them by these strategies and tactics, okay? And the thing about it is you'll have to kind of rehearse it a little bit, practice it a little bit, then you go for it. You don't have to strike someone to take them down, okay? And You don't have to use excessive force either. It's just about how fluent and how calmly you handle the situation. It's about keeping you cool, which is kind of hard for abused people, but it can be done. Okay? So you take back the power that person had over you. The day you kick your abuser's ass, the first day they get beat up and they can't do you anything is the day they realize they got to change up their game plan. So when you can physically incapacitate your abuser, that's when you start to get back the power in your hand. I do not advise you to use weapons like knives and stuff. Your hands are sufficient enough weapons, okay, to start with. And your feet. Oh, I also showed you guys the frontal kick. That's for kicking in the groin or kicking in the shin. All right, kicking in the groin is an upward kick. Kicking in the shin, we call it, forgot what it's called. Something carry. There's Mawashi Gary, which is the roundhouse kick. And then there's a frontal kick. It'll come to me at some point. But it's a straight on frontal kick. And again, you're kicking with the sort of the fleshy part of the foot to the front near the toes. You kick with that. Now that stuff can break legs. So you have to be careful how you kick. You can't kick with too much force, but you have to kick with sufficient force to bring down your opponent or distract them enough to kick them in the balls. So the kick to the shin is to go with a kick to the balls. Again, if you incapacitate your opponent or incapacitate your abuser by hitting them with the elbow shot, and you can do it as a man or as a woman, it doesn't matter. The elbow shot is not where they run into the elbow. You're not elbowing them. They run into the elbow, and then you kick them in the balls, or kick them in the shin. With women, if the woman's the abuser, obviously you can't kick her in the crutch. It ain't gonna do nothing. So the incapacitated woman's gonna be a little bit tougher, and women tend to have much more tenacity than men. So you may have to arm control that person. You get the wrist lock. You get them in a wrist lock, an arm lock, and then you turn them whichever way you want to and incapacitate them. That's the only way, especially if you're a bigger dude than the woman. If you're not, you're still gonna have to incapacitate them. And then if they're bigger than you, then you can even use more force to make sure that they understand that you're not taking crap from them. Abusers and bullies tend to be people who, once they are bullied back, they actually calm down, and then they start to realize they can't bully the person anymore. The reason abusers go off on a limb and become so terrible and terrifying is because they want to have control over you. The moment you've seized control of yourself and taken the momentum back in your favor, especially physically, and physically put the abuser in their place, they won't mess with you anymore. There are abusers who will want to go get their shotgun and stuff and see if they can come back at you, which is a mark of a coward. If they do so and they get within arm's reach of you, you can use that shotgun against them. And if you want to, you can incapacitate them with the shotgun, you can beat them up with the shotgun, you can kill them with the shotgun. It doesn't really matter, right? But you don't have to kill them. You want them to stay alive. Let them know you ain't taking shit no more. And so once they understand that they ain't taking shit and they can't just bully you and control you like they think they could, that's when you're going to see them cow down. They will cow to you, okay? Because most abusers are actually cowards, and they've been abused themselves. They're cowards. They don't know how to process feeling powerless, all right? And all of us feel powerless at some point in time, and we just have to deal with it. And so when you take the power away from them that they're trying to put on you, they're trying to take their powerlessness and put it on you, and then you seize back the power, you empower yourself, they're not going to mess with you. I can guarantee you that. So that's harder for abused women because they're literally mentally in a place where they feel like they're in a hopeless, no-win situation. And so they're taking abuse, but unnecessarily. Like I said before, you don't have to be the strongest person to be able to do it, to take down someone. People are easy to take down. Big, strong, muscular guys, kick them in the shin, kick them in the kneecaps as they're coming in at you. Stump them on the toe, then kick them in the balls. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go down if you kick them in the nuts. Most people at least, okay? Kick them in the nuts, especially if you catch them at a timing that they didn't expect, right? They're going to sink like a lead tank, okay? Like I said before, drop to the ground. When they come at you, drop to the ground, you're going to pull them down, especially if they're trying to grab hold of you or, grapple you or something. Drop to the ground, and that's it. You'll take them down with you. So these are little tips that I wanted you guys to know about. A lot of people are scary. Some of them are military people who are very abusive to non-military people. In the case of a military person who may also have gotten tough and training and stuff, the point is to incapacitate them long enough for you can escape them. Okay? You're not trying to go on a one-on-one. You're just trying to take them by surprise, neutralize them a bit, and from there, get the hell out of there. Okay? You don't try to stick around. If you got kids, and you know this person at a certain point in time behaves a certain way, make sure you get those kids out of that area. Make sure they're safe, so that when that person comes, it's just you and the person, and you can just neutralize the person and get the hell out of there. Okay? So that's how you got to deal with these people. A lot of people sometimes go to shelters because of this abusive situation they found themselves in. But if you find yourself with an abusive person, the key to turning the tide on the whole thing is to send the message to them that you can't be doing this shit anymore. And you have to take a stand, and you have to take some drastic methods sometimes, especially in the short term, so that in the long term you can work out things with them. And again, an abusive person doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't be in a relationship with them. You shouldn't take abuse from them, which means you shouldn't be in a relationship with them at that point in time when they're abusive. But once things sort out and these persons can sort themselves out, and they can get counseling and stuff, and they really want to change, and they get things to change, even maybe a long process, once they have proven themselves to be reformed, you can go back with them. Because I don't encourage people to break up with relationships. But if it comes to that, the point where you have to break up, then break up. You know what I'm saying? Preserve your life, preserve your children's lives. If the person's abusive, the person does not care about other people like that, then you'll have to get away from them, especially if they don't want to reform or change. You got to get out of that. You better get that person to respect you. You're not no doormat. They're not supposed to run over you. They're not supposed to be abusive. They need to check themselves, which means you're going to have to give them a reality check of some kind. You know what I mean? So self-defense is a very important thing. Shout out to Clarissa Shields again, doing a great job, punching the guy in the balls. You can kick him in the balls as well. But if anybody tries to be abusive, like how Billy Joe Saunders was talking, you know what to do. Check them people. You check them out. Check them. And check them serious. You know what I'm saying? Don't let people abuse you like that. Don't do it. Get out the area. Avoid that person. You set down the ultimatum, then you get the hell out of there. People shouldn't be hitting one another, especially family, right? So that's my 9 cents. Hope you guys have a good one. Have a good night, peoples. Peace. And what you need. Oh, by the way, you can, if you like this video, share, subscribe, donate by Western Union MoneyGram. Like the video, commit.